we'll start with
degree.
recitation of refuge in the spirit. What is that? Bodhicitta. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit and teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit of hearing the teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit of hearing the teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings.
Oh yeah, 100%. That Jerua. Geshe Simbu Shivale, said on Lamdu Guda. Go to Lapsana. Oh yeah. Oh, that did. George Banda Adisha, Lamdu Lesha. Kanshi Tamne Kandaki Sidwa. Kanshi Tamne Kandaki. Kore Dewa Zamtala. Rangi Tondo Yeshe, Dibutene, Tamar Shesa. Kanshi Tamne Kandaki is.
Kanshi
Tamne Kandaki.
Tabne.
Kandaki.
I'm not exactly remembering this verse, how to translate it, but a rough translation then. The great elder Atisha mentioned in his lamp for the path to enlightenment this one verse that has to do with the practice of the person of small capacity, and so then, or small scope, it just begins. The person who uses a method, Kanshi.
Kanshi Tamne Kandaki. Kanshi Tamne Kandaki. Kore Dewa Zamtala.
Just for the to achieve the pleasures of samsara.
Rangi Tondo Yesheba. Kore Dewa Zamtondo Yesheba.
It's just intent on the pleasures of samsara.
Kibudene Tamar Shes. Kibude Che Tambu Shingi, Nambu Shuli Shungi, Nambu Yimba Sheba.
That's the teaching for a person who's, what do you say, the least, has the least capacity.
That don't dako. And the chiller should do some Tambu Kibu Chiller Tambu Shungi. Chichani part of Shungi, Tamashungi, Sum Childwa, Kibu Sum Childwa.
So there's three levels of persons, or you could say practitioners: the initial level of practice, the intermediate level of practice, and the advanced level of practice.
Oh yeah. Kanshi is Kyo Kanshi Sigora. Tabne is Tabshi Judirwa Tabne. Kanshi is in a Tab Mikio Chupan Kawachu Tubati Sigora. Kanshi Tabne Kanda.
So then, as it says in the verse, that it's a person who uses a certain method to achieve we'll just say a certain method to achieve his or her goal, and then that method is abstaining from the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds.
Koya Dewa Zamdala. Rangi Tondo Yesha. Koya Dewa Kiwachima. Mundulada Mi Kovande. Koara Deora. Was a Koya Dewa Nana Nyawayida Tondo Tendel Majipsha. And it's not a Miller Soba Tendre. And then Debutoya Shadow. 미개와 기와 주트발을 전거래스 디치를 중에 당비기부터래스 타마스를 견자도가 당비기부터래서
And so they use that method then to attain the pleasures of samsara. Here is referring to having a fortunate rebirth. So then so we're talking about the person of least capacity. They
You
use...
sound very soft, Joshua.
What?
They can't hear you. They can barely hear your voice. What's going on? Is your microphone on?
Yeah, it's on. It's not a...
You're talking very low. I can't hear you.
Well, I got my hearing aids, you know.
Gotta fix this.
I mean, it's very loud inside my hearing
No,
aids.
your hearing aid. Fix them. I can barely hear you. Talk louder.
용금에 누가
Diana did get your madras on.
Because close up, Joshua. You're talking too
제
low.
총자서
Okay.
네 열에 다 전부 차 그러니
Yeah, now it's
Diana
okay.
did
I
use
mean,
it,
I can't change it anymore.
Well, change your voice.
Yeah, I can change my voice.
Yeah, go ahead. Louder.
너
I mean, I
다들
can just scream into this.
야
then anyway, Genla was... Can you hang up, Diana, or...
Okay, let me hang up. It is.
I'll just talk louder. Yeah.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Well, so when it's saying it uses the method is the abstaining from the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds. So cultivating, so in this way, then they achieve their aim, which is to be, it mentions in the verse that it's to achieve the pleasures of cyclic existence, or samsara, but that is referring to a fortunate rebirth as a human or a deity in their next lifetime. So then, so they cultivate this method in order to achieve that aim.
너야 나 된다고 당부 쉬는 저도 삼을 가로 거기도서는 천대 미다 봐라 천대 미다 봐 두당도 땡게 멤버시로 저쪽도 통동치 윤통동치 될래네 제가 치마 너도 매바 마셔 셈고 제가 치마 도고래 삼거래 세비 견진도 그래서 된데도 티피게 겨랑사데 년도다 된도 니래 내손들 매게 봐서 된도 하다 밀게 겨와차고 좀 내손도 계시게 교 아니 샹라 너바 샹 동야버리신데 샹라 동에 송게게드네 소쳐발어 소바 세베르게 방고도 좀 내손게 동에 가야 된다라 어때는 도저고 소쳐발어 소바 겨와 동네 내손게 동에 내손을 매게 봐서 하다 밀게 얻어 가지고도
This person, the person at the initial level, we're talking about really the initial level of practice, and they consider that they don't want to be reborn into unfortunate realms and want to be born into fortunate realms, unfortunate realms of the hells, animals, and hungry ghosts, fortunate realms of humans and gods. So then the cause of, so they have to avoid the cause of being reborn into the unfortunate realms, and that is, the cause is then harming others. So then they abandon harming others, so you don't kill, you don't steal, and so forth. And then they also cultivate the opposite of that, which would be to save life, to be generous, and so forth.
너야 다들 붙여 너야 다투다고 가서 오래 기와시만 내손을 쏘고 동해도 삼고도 하잖아 여기다 전도를 랑께서나 전전 연구를 해서 동해 삼고도 뒤섬도 않고 가서 소소 들은 로만도데 소소라고 그러 간지 라완 주지시 않으시게 미게와 냐와이다 돈도 요라 어텔 나케나 동에 뇽그레삼 텔 동에 뇽지 규딩하랑 마사나 김에버서는 아들께 그 말해서 소소를 라와이 버리치 고고도 현다지 그 왕유체티나 땅에는 이제 버와 그 소소리야 라와토는 아들께 그매 라데메께 그 예삼 소소 규디 대계지 규디가 하멜께지 규디 주바이나 소소 라와토네티 제요라 어디 셰도 마도 신앙 직박고에 있는다 셰도 마라
You really don't have to understand that rebirth in the miserable realms as something to be afraid of. The reason being that contemplating this possibility of being reborn in unfortunate rebirths, you consider that it's in your own power to make that not happen, and so then in order that doesn't happen, then you abstain from doing things that are harmful to others, because you understand that these extending these momentary causes constantly will bring about a result of momentary causes of not doing harm. Then it'll bring about you'll be able to create your own result of not being reborn into the miserable realms.
yeah. No, that equal. Shandalia, Zevatkudo, Zevetone. Pajude Tunga Yungres, Tunga the tender, Zevetone. So I need to put that in the Maratero. You soon come. Shan Tunga Yungresam, Tunga Yungu, make you what you the Ramwine, Tunga Judy Kagures, and Pajude Tunga Yungus, Tunga the tender, some Becunalan, and Shala, so Chabapang, but on Chimpang, but Yungua. Then you got Chambada. Something young Yongo. There was a check or some Tunga Mago, some. This and a Kotunga the Terry Shadow, Ramone Tunga, a good Pangiora. No, there was a and the Ramone saw to be a and it can but Mauls over Dumbetchi Mouse, the Yongo. The Chamba that she soon, and it till ya saw upon Pembertuate Yongo. This loves him.
At this initial level, we're exercising love and compassion to when we avoid harming others and do whatever we can to help others. It's really when you want others to be happy, then that means love. When you want them to be free of any suffering, then you're cultivating compassion. So out of love and compassion, then we're avoiding lying and saying, hurtful things and so forth. The 10 non-virtues, and out of wanting others to be happy, then we're cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds.
That's the Dunga came there when they were Toban Dene, Mika Chupan, give us to Yongodoa. Still of that.
So if you want to bring happiness to others and free them from suffering, then you abstain from the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivate the 10 virtuous deeds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the thing of the Chunju Sigumidua. Give a Chunju, some Toname of Chidon. To get Shura. Oh, teach about Tanane, Miko Chupan, Shanlatsu, Miko Chupan, Pembe, give a Chutuni. Tea out on any given thing that gives symbol of Gakanga Tokudoa. Don't get Tamzeta trends. They were taught to be Sanjiko and Tom to some with Kokodoa. Says Koti, Miko, Shala, Miko upon Keva, Su Yunga, Miko should have Keva to 야야게 또 산이베 값수 사탕부 산이베 시그라 수진 파르중기 냠네 첼라고 토바스데 메기 주방베 수준 들으시요라 나주 되게 그 먹고 충중데 제가 냠네 장 먹어야 돼 삼고도 띵한지 견도와 자 고대 개침부에 삼남빈에 뒤장베나 뒤 초와디에 베나니 바루질 심제 컨디션에 대화단 텐드다 동해대 텐드 롱강이 끼운 거라 뒤장제는 심제 탐제세야 온 거라 나주 뒤파샤네 심제 탐제 기부침부 람디시래 용이고 말아 어디 뒤에 침부죠 그래서 뒤람
we make a mistake in sort of looking down upon this practice of cultivating, of abstaining from the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds. These are, if you look at it, they're very crucial to as creating the what do you say, foundation for the more advanced practices at the higher level of of the three different types of practitioners. So then it's at the, for instance, it's at the second, what do we call them, ground or second level of the Bodhisattva path that we bring this practice of avoiding the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds to to its highest extent, and so you have to be cultivating this and thinking of it as being a very essential or important practice.
뭐야 미기 주방 교 주주세대 니리 메시나려 Geshe samlutam do medan dravachi do lepkedo wa so ko do lepko yoda
it's always we're always ready to cultivate to do this kind of practice because it involves interacting with others, and we're always in some kind of social situation, so then it's important to observe these, abstaining from the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating 10 virtuous deeds in our, basically we can say, social interactions.
Yeah. Oh, the Indutaka Sura. The Jundo, Sendadan Dondi Sibese, Semke Samlutaya, Luigi Chuba, Kaneke Shedu Tolia, Chambana Zawani Budi, Lebache. Oh, this and any, Joanne, Joacune, Nesson the Margin, Hadami Kova, Bounce and Joanne, Joacu Tobasha in some. Oh, tender Tobasha, then any given thing, Rani call it Tarbasheta. And a Rajibu call it Tarbama, but Simjan Tamjaya, call it Tarbache, Tungangi, Rangun and never young Sobabe, Sanjay Yokoman to Tobasha in some. Teach it only changing in some.
So to set our motivation then for today's class, we have to contemplate how I will, what do you say, set a determination to practice these, avoiding the 10 non-virtuous deeds and cultivating the 10 cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds in order to have a fortunate human rebirth, or just a fortunate rebirth, in order to be in a succession of fortunate rebirths, in order to practice the teachings and then be able to then enter into the practices that bring about my own liberation from cyclic existence, and then not only my own liberation, but then to turn my attention towards the liberation of all beings and to attain the highest goal of becoming a person who has attained all good qualities and abandoned or eliminated all faults, to become a Buddha. And so for that purpose, then I will listen to and study and reflect and meditate upon these teachings today.
뭐야? 아디메다. 당한 주디 가서래. 솔로간 델레서 안줘서.
Okay.
니슈 시주시부들레서.
Good. Or the
아샤신 그 뭐. This one. 시구라서.
or the because you train downward a bit.
이때 당분들인데. 그걸 전에 마이너스 되도사라. 된도사서. 다들 이제 미지 딱딱하게 거마래.
맞아.
당한 시주시변도사도 시구래선 저거라.
네.
규칙선을 해지내서도 왜? 뒤라서 왔던다. 생명이 실시하려면 라서 와줘서.
Semme.
니 실시하려면.
Shenlamin. Oh, Ibida did because of the Ibida.
야, 다짜와르다. 야, 시외 류신래장 이루 다진지 권에 깨와 민디서라. 결라 년에 셈매베서도. 시차소는 때야 류레 때는고 이루께요 말이야. 양자수 삼부 삼부치요 말아. 가르사 셈요 말이야. 년에 셈요 말이야. 셈매베차서도. 셈민이 실시하려면서.
So we're on page 241, and in this text, that translation, and in the second paragraph here it says, mind also does not arise otherwise, with a dead body as its principal condition, because the substantial cause of that, the corpse, is mindless.
This one.
This one.
야, 단데 비례 규칙 전에 현직 내서도 어느 가라 냠도 내기도 류다 셈니 봐. 류기 다진체는 이기 셔바께 고매나 아니 셈다 류니 냠도 내기도 어디 가르서 내기 그래서 그라. 네, 현직도 내봐 진시나서도.
네.
류티를 류한테 저게 아니 이루리아 다진체는 팬토고 매나서 그라. 아니 이루다 류니부터 냠도 내기도 와서 소부 요새들 일용구라. 류면에 일용마로 말하지 때부터나. 딜 현지도 내도 가래서 저쪽도 와. 뒤질랍다. 오늘 현지 내봐 진시나 하세요.
So the opponent here, if you go past the verse there, a translation of the verse, then the opponent is saying, well, then what about the coexistence of mind and the sense faculties? That
this one.
and how do you explain their coexistence?
류다 셈니라 이 셈다. 류니 냠도 요라 단단한 소부 요새들 셈 요라. 류다 셈니 냠도 내기도 와. 삼루테다. 그 류데 델 규체는 데 매나 아니 저 매나 냠도 가르쳐 내버려서 거라. 현직 내도 가르쳐. 저지라.
So basically what the opponent is saying is that, well, if the body is not the cause of the mind, then why are they coexistent? Why are they, why is it that when we have a body, we also have a mind?
다바 랭자기요라. 규칙 신나 현직 내서도 저지라. 규칙 신나 현직 내서도 대가식으로서는 속바집에 Wongi nami jitube nam senji to nesu rondese. Wongbo yiji number shepate da any luni botoko senji to nesu resora. Karesana Mundi legi kuchile kebeses. Miliki and the me so want to see that me some to see less and Kunyamdosa lechi sai or this one. This has a made Ludikito and me something Yamdosalco, Yamdo Yungo Resegura. No, the Kuchik and engineers.
So it's the verse is if we read that verse, the mind and senses coexist because they arise from a single cause, as do the senses in form and taste. Mind is transformed through objects. Here, Gyaltsabje explains, responds to the questioner and gives commentary on that verse, on those lines anyway. It is suitable that the sense faculties and mind of a single collection, which are included in the present karmic ripening, coexist because they arise from a single cause, or that is previous karma. We have a previous karma that for having a mind and body coexistent. For example,
No, this is Wongbunga Wangshin Sudan Roshino said, when a Wongbunga de Miwana want to Pensu Kuchio Marwa, in a Sokuchina Yamdo Negiora, Wangshin say, Wongbunga is order. Miwana Chaman Sobol Yamdo Deora, Miwang now Lagachigo now Miwan Lagachigo Mar Pento Yamara, Yamdo Desh Nesu to Asagora, Wangshin Sudan Roshino. Poramres in a Poramgi Sutida, Poramgi Rongam, the Yamdo Yoresora. In a road, the Sula Pando, Sudi Rolla Pando, the Deke Maresora. Or did the Petition. Once you saw the Rosinos. Can you kill my general?
No, they did.
Can you see Chile and
Oh, they
my
did.
general?
Oh, they.
Yamdo Nash over there. One bung at the Yamdo Neg to us. And the Poram Deshin wrote on cut out to give to the Yamdo or was. Could depend to see you get your Marasido. Once you saw the Rosinos.
So the example here then is that it is just as the five senses can coexist without being related as basis and based, and as do form and taste. Here, the five senses coexist in our body and mind. Without the one affecting the other. We're not dependent upon sight in order to smell something, for instance. And so then he also gives the example of form and taste. That, I don't know why it wasn't, it seems that it's in the Tibetan, but what that is referring to is sugar, really, that you have the whiteness and then you have the sweetness. These things can coexist, but not in a causal relationship.
No, yeah, did this one. Don't you did that? Didn't you? Oh, dear, could you two love Giora? Could two love Giora? Douglas Ogba, ye long bon Jewish, Luta Genus. 2 says on her. So the 2 says on her. Any soul or Tanga Cobble 2 chins or so, Meta chess on her. Any same matter, somebody give him a chagra, ye long but chagra. What into the uncle? Lula Tender, somebody joined to go to Asagora. 2 send a Lula Nazar cheese to any assembly yellow, me give a chat in the child to Asagora. Some Lugi. Tajin and the you look to Asagora. That's the land or till up the
There, the opponent comes back with another rejoinder where the opponent says, this is at the top of page 242, that because the mind is also sometimes transformed by poison, etc., the body is its principal condition. Here, when when you take some poison, then your mind becomes, totally, what do you say, upset and nervous, and that's, caused by the body having poison in it.
뭐야? 나도 던지 거는 주로 인슬래게도 던지 거는 주로 인세 팔래게 그래. 다지티 두세네 아니 다 야부 좀 하소 삼제 삼과 미기비체인데 삼로 코야 가래서나 그 르기 다진체네 르기 왕부터 다진체네 아니 삼린 주가 좀 말해서 거라. 말해서 가래 다진지 거는 주로 많이 쓰도. 던데다 미도 제바 삼지 거네 이런 주에서 던지 거는 주로 인식도. 던데 어당에 두세서 당아 야부 연구 말해서 시에는 소소 삼로 거는 삼리 주안도 그래서 거라. 르한테 다진체네 거 주가 제바 말해서 미시나시 명하게 다진체네 미시께와서 말해서 거라.
Gyaltsepje then says, the mind is not transformed through the body as a principal condition, sort of here, principal condition, a dominant condition. It's just like, it's not like how the body depends upon, say, the sense of touch, or the faculty of touch. The sense faculty of touch. It's not the same. It's because the mind is transformed merely through having made those objects, the poison and whatever other thing you might have taken, it's intentional objects. And here, what he's saying is it's what's causing the mind to be so disturbed is that you're thinking about, oh, I took poison and this will have terrible consequences, and I'll get sick, I might die, and when you're making that the object of the mind and your thought, so that's what's creating that's what's transforming your mind, not the body.
비서야. 야. 당연히 데려다 솔로가 납주되게 돈다시고도.
네.
솔로가 납주 받으라.
네.
단 독재기 교개발이 전생에 컨디션 시그레스고라.
네.
독재기 교개발이 전에 컨디션 시그레스.
네.
딩어 송거라.
So in this next verse, then what is being addressed is identifying the special what do you say? Cause, indispensable cause.
Yeah,
so we'll be identifying it here.
Lo parshadwa lo pa nga zun de tong de do ande yora o de ani ma lo de kebe de den kebar chere yora kares na lo de yona de de yong de lo de pa me ba chesuna and de me ba sandura je sa ma me de ma me de den kebar chere yora ju kebar chere yora kares ma me de yona 아니 그 어디로 참도라. 아니 참되면 어디 피기 마음에 드셔서나 데베도 매번 참도라. 어디인데 도저히 그렇게 버려야지 그거래.
So the question is, what is a special indispensable cause? And so Gyaltsep, this verse is addressing that question, saying that lamplight has the lamp as its special indispensable cause. For instance, here it's talking about, an oil lamp, but an electric light, okay? It is throwing all this light on our books here, for instance. If you turn the light off, then there's no light. There's no light on your books. So there's a relationship that, when the one is present, the other occurs. When the one is absent, then the other is absent. So that's what we mean by a special indispensable cause.
This one.
Uh,
Tao te chinju chesi do. Zawadira. Tao te chinju chesi. Duge.
do.
Mudi kasigurasana. Tu tao do segwara. Tu tao do se. Te chinju mame vete mame te yobada mebala tene te chesu jobare segwara. Tao te chinju cherese. Kanshi yobe pendo chese. Oh, kanshi mame kanshi pendo do yobala tene ane mame vete yungo resegwara. Kanshi yobe pendo chese. Kanshi mame ngaya liya mame vete ngaloso mame te yona tela tene ane mame vete le pendo ne te kigre segwara. Kanshi yobe pendo che. Tiki desi tumba otiba do chilamna.
So we say special in the case of the light coming from the lamp and the lamp, then it's the lamp is the special indispensable cause, because something, that is the lamp, merely by being replaced by lamplight is directly assistant to that lamplight. So the lamp is directly, the word is assistant, and it also, this, you could say is helpful, but I think assistant is good here to that lamp light, to the light coming from the lamp. Yeah.
Well, that marmite nyene nyene marmite yobal tene no wede pa chabdura ka chabdura. Pige mami pasona inde wede su chabngudwa. San ko te mami wede chabdete mami te nyene chen yongora. Sa te nyene ine te ndokche ku chabar chen bi chabdura. This is what.
So it's because the lamp, if we go back to the example of the oil lamp, when you light the oil lamp, then you have light here. So there would be light on the books that we're reading. So then that's known as it's a substantial cause, because the lamp itself, or the oil lamp itself, has a light, then it's able to cast light, to cause light upon in the room, and so then so it has that relationship of a direct substantial cause.
This one. That doji ku chabar chen sena. Ko nyele yena korang doji ku chabar chen regdo. Nyele da nyenje se shora. Jan nyenji nye korang ngon yuni te rendo gara. Jan ti chede ku nyele yena ani chede doji ku chabar chen regdo tabgi ora. Sabum de china sabu seven dagba da tu ko nyele reba. En dagba de mena bomba so yo mara. O cheja ko te chede nyele yena ani chede doji ku chabar chen yin ko rese go.
So it's here the line on the bottom of the last line of the translation on 242 says, this follows because lamplight always succeeds its direct substantial cause, the lamp. And so it's just it's another example could be the idea of a substantial cause. Once it's a substantial cause, then it's necessarily the special indispensable cause as well. So then, for instance, if you're going to make throw an earthen pot, you have to have the clay, and so the clay is the special indispensable cause of the earthen pot.
Tatene miwa de mixigi nyele marwa Mewa se chora, Susan Tawa chora, Pajo de Chan Namsan Sheba Kechura, Mewarwa, Mewa de Mishi Nele Marwa, Tajin Setra, Tajin in a Sheba Mishi Tajin, Mishi Doji to Keber Cherigora. Nave Shebe Tajin, Nave Shebe Doji to Keber Cherigora. Satinele in a any Doji to Keber Cherigora. And the Tajin in a Sheba didn't Doji to Keber Cherigora. This one.
Oh, because I'm me one day.
Mewandi Mishi Doji to Keber Cherigora. Caris a good Tajin Sigora, Mewa Maniana, Mishi Keto, Mishi, Mewa Mana, Mishi Keto Marwa, Tiana, and Susa Tigra. Doji to Keber Cherigora. Chinyele going by the Niendetil and Doji to Keber Cherigora. She Tajin to my Betajin, Shebati, and Doji to Keber Cherigora. I didn't need it. Oh, yeah.
There's another instance where you have a special indispensable cause, although, when we consider the visual sense faculty, okay, that's form, right? So then it can't be the substantial cause of the visual consciousness, but set aside, the idea of substantial cause. It's called the visual sense faculty is referred to as a dominant condition. Okay, and because you can't have a visual consciousness without this dominant condition of the eye sense faculty, shall we call it, then that's also known as a special indispensable cause. Okay, it's not a substantial cause. It's a dominant condition, but it's still it also is referred to as a special indispensable cause, because you're not going to have the visual consciousness without it. Do something.
Oh, yeah. Tangani did it. Did you teach it to but on Geshe in the Sheba Yeshe to Chica? Well, done Doji to Keber Don't that in Donald and the Desonsha Shagora. Doji to Keber said in Donald, the Descor Sonsa. Did you teach it to but on Geshe in the Sheba Yes, Donald Shasha? Donald shared the order and Donald Tendi. Solution by Donald Shagora. Oh, did it? Then on Dolan, did you not did Jones? Good you not Deputy John Ra. And then the manna, the cabas and the case. The Yona Dijon, Cutie cabas until it and Deputy Kigrese. And Cutie manna, Deputy Mavachago days. Doctor Cucabachalia, Jason to dog and draw to but this call days. Then the Yona Dijon, Shebe, Tumberton, the cabas and the case, Junko Gita Shebe. To say you have Doctor Cucabachalet and this chorus. That did it. Doctor Cucabachina, and Kora Yube Topji, taking raw, and a team manna, take care but take care of Donga. Team manna and a team don't go out in the chili, Doctor Cucabachis. Pena Mewada Mishitabo, Mameta Mametabos.
So the verse then goes on to say, in the verse it says something by being assistant when the result always succeeds it is that result's cause. Therefore, one sutra. So we already had that explained, and now I'm reading in the middle of page 242 that, so it says, therefore, one sutra explains using the 7th case, and another using the 5th, says because X has arisen, Y arises. And Thabkhe gives an explanation of these lines on the top of page 243, where he says, therefore, there is a reason why one sutra, here the sutra that's being referred to is the Rice Seedling Sutra, explains by saying, when X exists, Y occurs. Using the 7th locative case. This is Tibetan grammar. And why another sutra says, because X has arisen, Y arises, using the 5th ablative case. It is because it is explained thus, so that we may know the special indispensable cause is like X. So it's referring to our two examples here, that when you have well, we had two examples. A oil lamp. When you have a oil lamp, you have the lamp. You have light, the light from an oil lamp. And when you have clay, you can have an earthen pot. And here then it says, and then the opposite of that is then when you don't have an oil lamp lit, then you don't have any light. And when you don't have any what do you say, clay, you're not going to have an earthen pot. So then this is an explanation of a special indispensable cause.
Yes, why?
Right.
Oh, that one that could do this to a teacher of Namudo. Give a chimmer to do some countries to give a cigarette requisition, Sarah. Can go, yeah, Chikalamo requisition, Chisim Tamatsioda, requisition. Requisition, some so days ago. Requisition, Chicachi Geshe, those are the Kuncheg Maresgora. Requisition in a Mabshag Mother. Coach get in the kitchen, do this order. Requisition, some so this. Sargent wine basis order. The Chayube, Jabba Seba Kuba Lembasa Gubanga. Lembasa the social chick, Mavcha, chick could do something, some order. Not Tonya Yogo, Tanya Yogo, Mavcha, some order. Tico Seba de Robert Session, young young Rebecca to Yola order. Rebecca to Chimach and Russia order. Or did give us some to the Rebecca to give us some to with the Esegro.
So this next paragraph on 243 explains how to use this. Use a syllogism to establish that that the mind proceeds, through. I'm trying to that it's definite that there'll be a succeeding moment of mind, and so then it's saying here when there exists an attached mind, there necessarily definitely will occur a subsequent homogene of a similar mind of a similar type is what it's saying, and if so, then what's that referring to is that at the time of our death, the mind, we have the two factors of dependent arising, of the 12 factors of dependent arising. Two of them are called craving and grasping. Those those two then are what's being referred to as an attached mind. So then necessarily, once we have that, there will be a subsequent mind of a similar type. So,
This way.
Then, so if one proves that this applies to the death time mind of an ordinary being, one has definitely proved a future life. And one cannot by any possible inference entertain the objection that the existence of a future life is not definitely proved.
This one? No, what done it? Tangani did it and do what Geshe sent a singular Gashi did it. Oh, Lutigora, Luantegis, Lutigesera, Luantegis, a cuplia, you pant over your esgora. Gashi sent copant over the esgora. Not to make a suit on with a suit on to make shake your granny. Yulia or the Abudo to window some coda. To call Luchigora, Cupcabli Luchigora. You know, Luan de Mana. Luan de Mana, you make at the Marwa, Dodgy Kuchaba Chamare. Luan Mana could shiver Gintuch and go to good Esigora. Georgeman Dogora. Georgeman Dogisora. No, Chetanko. Gashi sent some Yula Pandocha by in Lattes. Two Gashi Cupcablia, and then Luan to Yulia Pando by your Esgora. Kucha by your Esgora. Gashi sent some Yula Pandocha by in Lattes. Take your Marese, the Labore your Maresora. Gashi sent some Pandocha in Latte. The Pechagora. Gashi sent some Yula Pandocha by in Latte. Do it in and do. Pumsola and Mesos, there's something in Dogma Mesnoa. When a Pumba, Sai Pumba Sura, Dabag. It's some sort of makeup called Tabusura. Tabusura. Tabusura made the Pumbati marble Tabusola Pantora. Diana called made the man and Pumba Merco at the Demara, Pumba Neto Gura. Or Dina Gashis and Asmi Pandochino, Pumsola and Mesoshi. There's something in Dogma made. They pant over Yoba some year, cup cover pant over Yoba some year, any dog chicken you ever change in Kuma, there's water. There's something in Dogma me said. Do it well?
No, do it.
Oh, yeah.
Loga.
Yeah,
so here, you can't really say that the body doesn't somehow affect the mind, or in this case we say assist the mind, and so then this final paragraph on page 243 is saying, granted, the body sometimes acts as or is an assistant to the mind stream. You have to accept then that the body does assist the mind. But it does not follow merely from that the virtue of the absence of by virtue of the absence of the body, the mind will be absent, because one entity cannot have as its special indispensable cause an entity substantially different from it. So we're talking about this special indispensable cause. It has to be a substantial cause. So then not substantially different. So then, for example, it is just as fire, etc., are assistant to a clay pot. For instance, when a clay pot is being made, you can fire it up and you'll get a harder pot. But it's not like if you don't happen to put it in the fire, it's not going to. It's just going to totally, what do you say? cease to the pot's going to cease to exist. The fire has sort of an assistant, it's something helpful to fire it in a what do we say, oven, I guess. I forget what they're called. What are they called?
K-I-L-N, kiln.
Oh, kiln. Yeah, that's the word. Kiln. Thank you. Jason.
This one. Tangani did the Ramjungani did it, Solgang Ramjungani did.
Oh, they.
No, Tande Lute and a Yulu Nile but Kagdua. Lute, Yulu Nile Marestin but Kagdua. Oh, the Lune never Nina some Dogwa Meba Tower in Jerusalem. That the condition she so Nasigora. She will lute Lesgora. That Ralufa Chantangora. Could lute Yulu Nile Sigora. Mutina, Sane, that Chantangora. Lune never Nina some Dogwa Meba Tower. She will lose the Nasgora. Missy Tadusa, Lutela Yanga. You look at Shogura. Cares a conyele, Lut Mato Kuma Rashanda. Lut Kanga Tanda Tay or Vasigora. Lut Yulu Nyelena. Tanda Shitatus and Yanga. Luchasante or Nyele with any, she would get Shogura. This one. The Lune never Nina some the one never told you. Shitatus and Lut Nedora. Louis Horva. They and some the young get over Vasigora. Some the one Mevata, young some kitchen nearly lose hasn't dead a basis. Did you love?
Oh, shoot, did Kachit there?
Randu Parka, could Louis nearly several ten doctor to several said you look at Resegora. Louis Shifona, you look at the Kyochima Resegora. Coglave Togalas, you look to Lil Tende or Resta, Mishita Shamogora. Now look at every cigar, Mishina Shisha to the Lil Tende ora. You look there, Lil Tende or Res Lune, Kaduki or Resegora. Dogs to Cabashariana, Yelechi Goriana, the Mishi, Mahog Mishiki, and Shitahin Sigora. To rescue or Resegora. Tatilla Nalu Fakandangora. I can shit house on a metal Lula. Young you look at Kyotasagora.
Took it away.
Get over Talasagora. Get to Google Esagora. A carresana. You look at nearly Chazan dead of Basagora.
Oh, there.
2000 Timado Comaro, Sheba Shanda Comaro. And got the Ludi, Nielin Sigora. Nielin and Louis or Shiva Lula, Laria Sim thought out of Guata.
Oh, definitely.
A little bit turned out to Hajilap. Any Dimalona could save Chagra.
No, there.
You care,
So then, here we're doing, going on to refuting the idea that the body is the special basis of the mind, like the materialists are holding to this idea that the body somehow acts as the basis of the mind. And so then, so if you go on page 245 here, and you see that that one, the line of the verse here, which is said to be, verse 51, it follows that in a dead body, mind will not be absent, since its cause, the body, remains. This is a consequence of that assertion. This
one. That will call Lanjagiota, Lanjam Tibakagiota. Tadanga Shiva Lula Yanga, Yilukia Sierra, Kiaku, Kiku Sierra, Karesinako, Yiluki, Tuchas on Daddy or Resigora. They'll call Lanjagor too. Lankarikos Nende. Tungi Masan Jagatamuna. Tungi Masan Velakaman, Yeleki Luya, Ken Umeben Dogwa Medo. Nele Lude the Yor Resigora Coca. Nele Luyor Deco, Senji Chicken, Nele the Henji Chicken, Nico Resigora. Senji Chicken, Ukdayoma Resigora. Luda Yori, Nyan did the Yoris. Tell the lenses again, Unjongo the Quarter, Unjongo Yomar, Untan, that gave Yomar Lanjago.
So the go to the bottom of the page here, then the opponent is coming back with a rejoinder, saying, although the body, the substantial cause of the mind, that's what they are asserting, exists in the case of a dead body, since such conditions as breath are absent, it is not the case that the appropriate conditions are not absent from a dead body, just as the appropriate so it is not the case that the appropriate conditions are not absent from the body. But what the opponent is saying here is that okay, you can have the substantial causes of the mind, but present, the body, but then it also requires that there's some cooperative causes as well, and or conditions, as it says here, and so then there's no breath. So if you don't have the breath, then you can't, then all the, you can't have the mind there because there's no breath. That is so.
This one, yeah, don't do so.
Then
I could catch it. Diana look part like you are. You don't want your chit, I don't know. You don't want your chasing the soul gang of dear thoughts are out, and do a mother, nothing else from the young door. 6 young children, Tati Kuman. You don't want you to tell and jungle the mice. That car situation. Oh, question, Carsor. Unjungu the Mesa. You look at Mari, nearly you are at Unjungu Yamare, Unjungu Yamare, you look at Maris one. Taran look at a cigarette. Unjungu lieutenant, so you look at your Marisa. You look at Unjungu Park, you are a cigarette. You just watch and Utaya till it's watching your cigarette. You are not some Unania, Utaya till your best wisher Uyungo, Udi, you look over Park, you are Marisa. This because Henry Unjungu Mesa, you look at Maricero. Or Unjungu, you look Park, you are Mare. You look at Unjungu too. You look so much and Unjungu too, keep what it is. Did you love that?
What the Buddhist position then counters that assertion by saying that it's not the case that that the breath comes from the body. This is it can't act as a cause because it's the mind then that gives rise to the breath.
This one.
Yeah.
That is a Telenjungu Temain said that. Telenjungu said, you look over Tele Unjungu Jungu Deshe, Unjungu, you look over Sunjungu Maresha. Telenjungu Temain said, and those are. Oh, Tandy water. Lungjin Badan, Jemban, and Bezo Meba Kale, you say. Taco Yan Disorder. Nikerande, you look at Nitokin Jungu Mebata, you look at me. Ni toku ko sona sigara. Ta ko chula ndi glab ge warda. Nambal chula ge warda. Ni toku ko do sigara. Ani yilu tsawa yo marwa se. Ani u yo marwa se warte de. Ni toku sira ko ni lam ta yo mara. Sheba yo ba sam ma to ke yo mara. Ni tab ko na ni melam tangra. Yilu se ba sigara. Ni toku ko sona be ho se u tangu samsa u ngo ko samsa samlu yo mara. Continue to talk to the young Marvesagore. You look in Bessu Sigma Duasagore. Catch you two love your. tilabda.
So maybe it's better just to read this. So it follows that at the top of page 46 where it says, Gyaltsab is responding, he says, it follows that the breathing that originates from the mind is not the special principal condition of mind, because breath exists by virtue of the existence of that mind, and because its strength and weakness is under the other power of the mind's efforts at movement, that you have some kind of exertion, as it says in the verse. That this follows because a person's inhalations and exhalations of breath originates preceded by mental exertion, and it cannot be accepted that they exist having originated through any cause except that mental exertion. But then the opponent then comes back and says, well, it follows that during deep sleep there is no breathing because there is no mental effort. You're sound asleep and your mind is totally, well, I don't know. It's anyway. There's no mental effort there. There's no way you can be making it some kind of mental exertion at that time. That's true.
Tadil pa lenja yorda, nangbak pa lenja yorda. O til kyo yo mareso, til nyeba chungse jameda sigwa. Til kyo yo marese. Tade ni tubu kube negab ji unjungu ti kyo ngame lele tene kiyo rese wale. Lele tene kiyo zanko lege pangshedu kaze bado utanye yobada choji tegune tibado ko utangi rese wale. Yinji minji ko judi yina dribu ti yobe tu su takbarisi gyudi ko marese wale. Gyudi ngene yosare, tatanda kadu tile gyudi mena dribu ti yosho rese wale. Sa yilu tsawangundu dosare kyo ngama lesane utanya da tinde ko yiki sheba yilu tobo ngundu dosare rese wale. Tanda ko yilu tobo kadu tile ko marese wale. Pena se wale de. Lungji banda drimban bezo me kala ye. Ngonji sembe leji tobi shoy. Tuwa yena pishin ngundu sonye kyabse. Tuwa yena mengundu sonye kyabgirwa. Pishin. Tuwa yena metaya pishin chik metratan tuwa kyagurwa. Te ngundu sonye kyabgirese. Yina ko tuwa yoyo kadu yoyo na tibado pishin kogu marese wale. Kyuji ngelen rosane digiri mado ko tanda kogu marwa. Kangbati songe 미그 서버와 때때 당부 소지 코미디 연에 되면 다 단다 미민도 세세요 말어 단다 매나 꼭 강바 요청도 제자고 경험을 내가 파는 일로 또 하고 우중고 당야지 내가 좀 잘해서라 단다 제부 두고요 그래서 우 단대야 돼 어디 단다 주디 단다 거 말은 걸 연에 되게 돼서 그래 야 그래
So the opponent is feeling there should be no breath, no breathing in deep sleep because you're not making any mental effort that time, but or mental exertion, I guess we're saying. But then Gyaltsab responds that there is not even the slightest problem here, although there is breathing during present deep sleep, it necessarily is projected by the previous mental intention known as karma. So there's previous karma that then is the cause for this effect of breathing in deep sleep. It is accepted that if there, for instance, another example would be, it is accepted that if there is smoke, it necessarily is preceded by fuel. That there must be some kind of a fire to have created the smoke. That's that's accepted. But why should it follow that at the time of the smoke, when the smoke exists, that the fuel necessarily must exist there? And another example would be, for instance, that we know that it took a bunch of carpenters to, to build this house that we're sitting in now. But it's not necessary for the carpenters to be here, okay, for the house to exist. so what's being established is that when it's not necessary for the cause to be existent at the time of the effect. Okay.
Yeah. Tanti la go da tanda. Ko ula tene yilu to ba chi gre se la so. O del pa kyen chi go da rang lu ko la kyen chi go da. Te da pyujun de ba la pyujun de ba to ba ju se do sa wa. Ka se le se kena u de yilu pa chi ge yona. Ene u de pyudu chunga da man drip so na. Ene yilu de ya shuk che da man drip do atende yur ge ba se go da. Juro an jur ko ge se go da. Te ka se te da pyujun de ba le u pyudu chunga u shuk chen bu da na yilu shuk chen bu che da. U be chen ju da na yilu ma nyu de gyu de ya pen de bu pe ya da. Gyu de ne de bu de be ku gra. O tinde juro da so te da pyujun de ba le pyujun de ba to ba ju. U te da pyudu chunga shuk chen bu da wa da shuk chen ju da wa le te ne yilu ne ya shuk chen bu che wa da chunga ju wa da so da. Ene u de yilu da jin be se se gyu che ba chen be se se wa da. Te da pyujun de ba to ba ju se. This one?
No. So then another consequence is that our position, the Buddhists, shall we just say, when it's Gyaltsabche, well, we could say Gyaltsabche, or the Buddhists would then come, or we can say Dharmakirti then comes back with, it would follow from your previous assertion about breath creating mind, that the increase and decrease of mind would be obtained through the increase and decrease of those breaths. So if you breathe harder, then your mind would increase, and if you're breathing softly, then the mind would decrease, because you're saying that the breaths are the special principal condition of mind.
This one. Yeah. Teda puju to jure. Teda la tawa chung se dera. Teda la tawa chung se dera. Da kera chana u teda shiwe lu shi chane u mene ko u jong ta se gora. Shiwe lu de la u jong ko de se gora. Gares na u gi nyele lu chawa ne be se gora. Ko ba kyon dang gora ra lu ge. Na ba ke ko ba kyon dang gora. Kera chana u jong de lu le ten ki ge ora wa se ra. Tine shiwe lu de la u la ra u jong ta. U jong ya ge lu cha sa de ye be se gora. Da ge ngan ju kar se re. Ne de ta ten de. Teda la tawa chung se de ra de. U teda shiwe lu la dogba me bar tawa chung de te nyele lu sa war ne be se ro. Tene ke ya cha we yilu me dogba ta ro yilu tene u jong yo ne ya yilu de yo bar ta se ro. Ko ta ge lu yo re de ke u jong me se ro. Da shiwe lu de u jong yo ko gre de ko u jong du nyele lu de yo re se ro. U yo ne ta yilu yo ar ta se ro. Nyele lu yo ke u jong de yo be se ro. Teda la tawa chung se de ra.
So then another consequence of this position about the breath that the materialists have is that it follows further, if we read at 247 there, that top paragraph, further it follows equally from your assertion that those breaths are also not absent in that dead body, because the substantial cause of breath, the body, remains complete. So there should be breath there as well, because you have the body there and the corpse. The corpse is there, and it should be breathing. Therefore, the consequence remains that since the appropriate conditions are present, mind is not absent from a dead body. So you still have to say that the mind is there because it's appropriate conditions or principal condition is there. The body.
This one.
Dresa.
Yeah. Tandirda ya. Ona Kerala ya taku sulab gyorda. Nangbal sulab gyore.
Murbe.
Oh, nangbal sulab gyorda. Ona Kerala ya sigdwa. Oh, tini karila kusena. Shive lula sem dogwa mevar tasere. Shive lula. Mishisara. Ti lula ya sem meba machache yanja sem kevar tasegora. Nyele sem yubeshe sore. Ona Kerala ya shive lula sem dogwa mevar ta. Nyele sem yubeshe se. Sulab gyore.
Ore.
Tagi ngazu ko labra. Shive lula ya tini unjungu chunga ta, yilun chunga ta. Nyele lu yubeshe cherwa. Ta kogu sigore, shigalamu tulia tanda sem yorwa. Ta shema yanja sem chunga ta. Ko sem nyele sem di yubeshe sigore.
So therefore, sorry, I got a little ahead. We were just establishing that there must be breath in this corpse because the body's there. Therefore, the consequence remains then that since the appropriate conditions, the body are present, then the mind is not absent from a dead body.
This one. Ta simgyu yina chung ma yin sin de la gudwa. Nebe penje shenda jan kanji gyu ne yimbar de se. Ta mi chung ba de she ura. Ta gin ko lu de sem gin nyele yin se na. Ani shive lu la sem ke wa ta nyele cha sa yebe se se lo ro ran lu ge. Rang pa la ro. Ta ko chu la go re kena shiga la mu de sem yo de. Ma wo ba na sem jong ar ta ta de sem yebe se se ora. Sem gin nyele sem yebe se se ora. O tingi dag ma re se ora. Kuna de lu de yo na nyele de yo na shenda ke gyu ko marwa. Shenda gyu ko marwa ko le kyo nga ma chima chita yo marwa. Tanda kyo nga chi menge kyang beng she gora. Ya ko lu de yo na gyu shenda yo marwa ni sem ke ko re se gora. Ralu pa la ra. Ta nga zo men ra se gora. Lu dan sem ni sem yo na ya sem chima de lu le yang ya sem chima ke nge ba yo ma re se gora. Lu dan sem ni henji du nebe kyo nga me le si gore. Ti nipa de tsuwana ko lenji neg ma re si gore. Sem yo na tanda sem yo rwa, lula sem yo rwa. Ta yang jam ma shi biche sem chima kiga rwa san, ti kiga ma re si gore. Ka re sa na, ni sem di duwa, sem yo na sem chima kiga rwa. Sem di nyele rwa si gore. Kena lu di sem di nyele ina, lu yo re ta ilu tokpa chima yang ja kiga rwa si duwa si gore. O ti na shi chane. O ti si du. Sem de, this one
That's
kesi mangbu she songe. Nga zu shigalamu, mi shigalamu yone, kesi nibadili sem chen ru yone, tanda sem yora. Ta ko sem chima yangja kya artha sigora. Ko nyele sem yebe se sigora, chu nga zu ta se tang yora. Ta nga zu te ko ma re se, mendra re sigora. Ko sem yora, ta sem chima luli kik ma re se, ka re se. Kyo nga ma lu da sem nye lenji du ne ya ge ko le chi wa re ti ne ba zo do re di son ja ko kyu sang yo ma re so ra kerang kyu shen da ge ku me ba lu di yo na di yo ba se ra kyo nga ma se yo ma ro ko o di re sim ju yin na chung ma yin se ne be pen je shen da ja ka ji kyu ne ba de se do lu da sem lenji du ne be pen je gi kyo nga me le shen da ja kyu la ko re se re Simgyu yina tsunguma, simdi simgi nyele yin bola tsunguma re se. Lui di simgi nyele yin se kena se ayina te, di kyan di jogu re se gore. Yeah.
So then the opponent is trying to come back here and in the middle of page 247 here, that, well then, it follows that according to your position too, mind is not absent from a dead body because of the existence of of mind's substantial cause, the mind. So they're saying, well, the mind is not absent from the dead body because you say that it's become, basically they're saying, well, you said it become more and more subtle and it's still there. So then, so you've still got the substantial cause of the mind. But the Buddhist rejoinder then is, it does not follow that it follows equally that if the mind is the cause of mind, then mind is not absent from a dead body, okay? Since because of our position is asserted that other karma, okay, karmas, if you prefer, projecting the coexistence of the body and mind are the causes of the coexistence of the two. So that what we Buddhists are then saying is that there's karma that is responsible for the body and mind being there together, and once that karma is finished, then the body and mind have no way of being together. Yes, and so then whatever mind is there, it can't be like producing another existence, another what do you say, conscious mind, I guess there's a way we'd look at it, but anyway.
다양 고출랭자요라. 지셰도. 데디르당니 솔로가 ngabjunga 게데 동불라서 신예배 메튼 류규 민식도. 디 가르스고스나 게데 나기 때문에 당에멜로서 신도들 나 잡잖아. 네가 연안이 신들 멤버요 말해. 나 잡나. 멤버요 말아. 디스도 게데 동불라서 신예배 메튼 류규 민식 pena nga ki tabi tongbu tulaya me bargi me doa sora chidang ko shingla me bargi rawa sa ina nga ki tabi shade kun nipa me baso ne gajin chi chondu zang ko me bargi wa ma re sora keto tongbu la so shin nipa me dun lu ju me sa lu de chidang ko lu ji nye len sa ne ilu kili yo re sora ko ge yo re de tanda ko naza chung ne tuk dab de chung ina kare na gajin ki ko lule yiluke gajin chen meje basore te ta yangja lule ke yo mare sore this one
the kachik and this
ralu ko le ke che karsen di ko lab gora ke de nga kitabe tungbula me baro hashindo nyeba londi la sokba neba da mitun ba chebe shive lule de yilu chu mare sore 시단 류디 일류 주레세 시외 류디 kon gajin 중사래 gajin 중사도 타고 일류 깨토고 말해서 거라 신디 시단 멤버그레데 나게 답서는 거 멤버그 맨도 와서 거라 어디나 신치버레서 거라 비로야
so the opponent is sorry, coming back here, that you can't apply those consequences to us. Just as fire cannot ignite a stick pile, etc., charmed by mantras. This comes from the idea that you can put a pile of sticks there, and if somebody has said a certain mantra over the stick pile, that even you try your hardest, you won't be able to light the fire. So here, since there are defects of wind, bile, and phlegm, here it's talking about just the different. I don't know, the translator here uses the word humors, but it's not really, I mean, that's sort of the older understanding. It's just that the body has these components in it, and since these are what do you say, defective, a dead body, which is incompatible with the persistence of mind, has no cause of mind in it. So you will accept that a result cannot be generated when it is destroyed by a contradictory condition, that you don't have the right conditions there for the body to become, give rise to a mind.
This one, don't any delusion. She never yam jurges, the pile of Gorda. So Lavetelico, Pal Capachi Gorda, Nambagi. She never yam jurges, Lion saw it out in Jurusigua. Carsic she had to call two grams just saying to do so jam the Shivachera. And took the palm Mabsona. Ayana shared the Kumadavachia Sati Ganchera. You go shock you say just started out of Susana. Young Yako, you look at us over there. Got gauging the maps was Sarvasta. Gauging Homer, gauging maps was Sarvasta. Then I'm going to motor have seen a can show you now. Can shows are called the can shows a young Yako subject Yamna and the modern Dura. Or dinner sing. She can't join the county palm maps was a young Yashabake or Tasigora. Oh, this is what I got. She and Yavan Yam you say, Lion saw it out in you. Young Yako made somebody and get into us.
So the consequence here is it follows that a body will be revived at death time. This is the last paragraph on 248. Okay, yeah. We're just finishing this up. So it follows that a body will be revived at death time because its substantial cause, the body, remains. Okay, there's a substantial cause, and the contradictory conditions, that the defects of the humors are an equal part non-existent. That means it's just sort of like in order to start up a car, the reason your car breaks down is there's something wrong in the some fault. What do you say? Something breaks in the motor, and so then once you fix that, it'll start right up again. So then, what if you then with the body the same idea is that there might be some kind. For instance, if the person was bitten by a poisonous snake, and then you're able to remove the poison of the snake, and then make that non-existent, then the person should just be able to, because they have the substantial cause of the body there, then they should just be able to get up and go.
Well, that did it also.
Did it also?
Oh, that's Shasana.
Did Tama de?
Oh, did Loga.
That's Tung Tung Chi. Oh, what's that Tung Tung Chi?
December. Gaging you can Yana.
Oh, yeah.
Tawanga Malati, Mare. Yana Tawa de Chibacha, Nebanam Chanyam to me, Nebukan Kangate, Meba Jewish Sigara.
So,
catch it out, Chikbat and Dishara.
Alternatively, one can add as a reason to the prior consequence because the defects deteriorate in a dead body. So it's just that once the defects are gone, then the body should be able to get up and go.
Yeah.
Don't do so.
Don't do that.